Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows. I don't know what day you'll see this, but we are doing this on a Saturday where we prep our stuff for Sunday so that we can do less chores on Sunday. We try to take Sunday as a day of rest. So today we are making some coffee cake to eat for breakfast tomorrow morning before we go to church. So we are making this recipe from a website called Hillbilly Housewife. We will try to link it in the video below, but this is her cinnamon coffee cake. She also has an overnight coffee cake, but this is the cinnamon one we'll be making today. And I really like the Hillbilly Housewife site. It has a lot of very good tips. It has a lot of tips for using dry milk. It talks a lot about how to save money for food. And it also has 2 emergency menu plans. One that used to cost $45 for a week. The other used to cost $70, but prices have gone up since she made it. But it was, if you lost your entire kitchen and you have to start from scratch buying salt and pepper and everything, a very basic bare bones menu plan for an emergency situation. So I've really enjoyed the website, but again, Hillbilly Housewife, and this is the cinnamon coffee cake recipe. So first, in the bowl we have softened butter, which is a little past the soft stage, but that's okay. So that's 1 cup of softened butter. We need 3 cups of flour. Can you measure 3 cups of flour for me? Naomi, will you keep an eye on her? Just make sure that she only does 3 cups because I'm going to have Uriah help me. While she does 3 cups of flour into the bowl, I am also, you're going to help me? I know. We're also going to do 2 cups of sugar. It calls for 1 cup of white sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar, but I only have white sugar, so that's what we're using today. Whoa. You're going to help me? We got to do scoops. Yep, you can put it right in this big bowl. Thank you. You do it. Good job.
I do it.
I know, you're going to. Go ahead, pour it in for me. Mommy's got to help you scoop so we make sure it's nice and full. That was 2. Here's 3. Okay. So we put in 2 cups of sugar. And Abigail, oh, was that 3 cups? Yep. 3 cups of flour. And we need a tablespoon of cinnamon. Now, in our house, I don't always measure. I do a lot of guessing on certain things like this. So, you're going to help me dump? So, we're just going to dump. Okay. Good. Yeah. So now we're going to mix this all together. We're going to make, you can use your hands for this, but I thought that would be a little messy with the kids. You can also use 2 knives to cut it in. You're just trying to cut the butter in to make a crumb topping that's going to go on top of the coffee cake, and some of it's going to be right incorporated into the coffee cake. So that's the step we're doing right now. So I'm just trying to make it, we're going to make it into roughly pea-sized pieces. You going to help me? Okay. I got to help you too, though. You want to help? So roughly pea-sized pieces. So while we're mixing this up, I need to help you. You can help me. We can work together. While we do this, I will explain. The next step is you're going to add, well, one of the steps further down the line, is we're going to add buttermilk. Whoops. We got the Kindle a little bit cinnamony. But we're going to add buttermilk. And so what we did to make buttermilk, I don't keep buttermilk in the house on a regular basis. I find it kind of expensive and I don't use enough of it to make sense. I would have to either freeze it or find recipes to use it in. So what we do is we make up a cup of dry milk. So water and the dry milk powder. For us, it's 1 scoop to a cup of milk. A cup of water makes 1 cup of dry milk. And then we add lemon juice to it and let it sit for 5 minutes, and it makes it into buttermilk that you can use in any type of baking recipe that you're going to have. You can also use vinegar instead. So you just put in about a teaspoon of vinegar or lemon juice and let it sit for 5 minutes. And you will get buttermilk that you can use for a recipe. So I don't know if you can see this. I've still got a couple chunks that are a little bigger than pea size, but this is about the consistency you're looking for. So we need to make sure, you guys help me. Did we add the flour?
Yeah.
Did we add the sugar?
Yeah.
Did we add the cinnamon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to take a little bowl and we're going to put about 3/4 of a cup of this mixture to be able to put on top of the coffee cake when we're ready to make it. So that's going to go off to the side. So next step, we have to add salt. Where's our salt? Do you see the salt anywhere? Abigail? Salt. We keep our things in mason jars to prevent the boxes from getting wet or anything in the cabinet. So we need to do salt. Hold on, we gotta see how much salt we need. We need 1 teaspoon. So what's this say? It's a 1/2 teaspoon. How many of these do we need? You're just gonna guess? We need 2. 1. No, that was 1. 2. Very good. Okay. Oh, I need to take this now. And Abigail, we need a teaspoon of baking soda, which is this really large bag here.
Yeah.
Can you use that? That's 1 teaspoon. We need 1 of those. Yep. Good job. Oh, are you okay? Okay. Now, Abigail, can you mix that up for me? You're going to help me in just a second, okay? So in another bowl, Abigail, put that one in front of you. In another bowl, while she mixes that up, I need to put 2 eggs. 2 eggs in your bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. Naomi, could you hand us another fork? Thank you. You can mix those up for me. So in this other bowl, we're going to add 2 eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, can you mix those? Can you mix them? So if you saw my grocery haul video the other day, these bowls that Uriah is using, I found them at Sam's Club, and they have a silicone bottom, so they don't slide around the counter when the kids... Okay, you do it. When the kids are mixing. As much. They don't push them over. Are you still mixing? We need a teaspoon of vanilla. We're running low on vanilla, guys. We're going to get some. Teaspoon of vanilla. Like I said, I don't really measure very much. And good, you keep mixing. And we need our 1 cup of buttermilk. My buttermilk, because it's buttermilk, it has some clumps because it's buttermilk, but I also have some clumps because I had melted butter in here earlier for a different recipe. So that's why it looks clumpy. It is not bad. So go ahead and mix that up. How you doing, Abigail? Good. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold your bowl. You can keep mixing, okay? Careful, you don't knock it out, Abigail. Okay. So after you mix up all your dry ingredients and you mix up all your wet ingredients. Yeah, you did mix. I'm gonna mix this one now. I'm gonna make sure your eggs are beaten in. Can you help me pour it? Yeah, we're gonna pour it right in here. Good job. Now you can play with the bowl and the fork, okay? So now we're gonna mix these 2 all together. Can you mix? Hold on, she's mixing it right now. You're mixing that too? She's mixing it right now. You want a chance? Okay, let her do a couple more. Mix a little bit more. Good job. Huh? Okay, your turn. And then it'll be Mommy's turn and we'll put it in the pan.
Yeah, Mommy's turn.
Mommy's turn to do it. So again, this is a nice recipe because you can either cook it the night before and have it ready for breakfast the next morning and have some fruit on the side or with glasses of milk. However you want to do that to have other parts to the meal. Or you can put this in the pan, put the pan in the fridge, and the next morning put it in the oven and bake it while you're taking your shower or getting people dressed or whatever you have to do on a Sunday morning to get ready for church. We have a lot of things to do around here. With having a newborn in the house, he of course needs someone to dress him. This little guy can't do it himself yet. And our 7-year-old has cerebral palsy and he needs someone to be available to help with buckling pants and things like that. So along with myself, I have 3 kids to get ready. Stop, it's Mommy's turn. Mommy's turn. That's right. Your turn. Abigail, do you remember how to sign your turn when we were learning sign language? Your turn and my turn. That's right. So we have to take turns when we're cooking, right? Because you can't do all the stuff.
I'm cooking.
You're cooking? What did you make? Yeah, do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coffee cake. Coffee cake.
I made
Okay, you made that one. You also helped make the brownies a minute ago, didn't you? Yeah. Something is falling in the background. I think we're all okay now. I've got to make sure I have all the dry ingredients out of the bottom. Can you hand me a spatula behind you, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Naomi got it. Thank you. No, I'm going to get it out.
You did it out.
I get it out. We're just going to pour it into the bowl. Then we have to spread it. This one might spread easier than the brownie one did. So I'm trying to go backwards so you guys can see it on the camera, but it makes it a little more difficult for me to get it into the bowl. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, brownies.
Brownies? We made brownies already.
Now we had to make this good.
And if you notice, I put aprons on the kids to keep the food off of them, but who forgot her apron? Me. So I probably have food all over me. It's just how it works. So you spread it out
I put it
into the pan. No, I'll spread it out. Thank you, though. So you spread it out into the pan. Get as much off your spatula as you can to not waste any. And then that sugar, flour, butter, cinnamon mixture that we kept, we're just going to sprinkle over the top of the whole thing. And there we go. That's going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for, I don't know, some amount of time. We don't measure, we don't use the recipe around here either. We usually just watch it. So I can't see it right now, but you can also make this as muffins, putting it in a muffin tin and then sprinkling the topping on each individual muffin. So thank you for joining Herding Little Cows. We'll see you later.